Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? Right, let me get the chat up. Just take a moment to do this and check the sound. Checking the sound. 1, 2, 3. Just take a moment to do this and check the sound. Sounds fine. Good. Got the chat over here with my. Actually, I got my tablet over here as well, so I can refer to the tweets that I sent on my DR Games account, Games DRM. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Graham, how are you doing? Hang on, what is this here? There's a little crown with a 1, 2. Is this the order in which people come in? Crown 2. I don't know what that is on there. Hello. David! I'm glad you're here, my friend. I thought you'd be in a castle in Transylvania. Was that right? Or was that just like a wind-up? No, I think about it. It sounds a bit far-fetched, but knowing you, David, well, from what I've seen on your travels, that maybe you did end up in the castle. Star Glider, good to see you. Nick, how are you doing, my friend? So what are these crowns here? Can you see what I mean on the chat? There's like a Nick next to your name. There's a crown and a #3. That is weird. I don't quite know what's going on there. Is it experience? No idea. Mark, you are number 1. #number 1. It was obviously a new thing. So that is strange. Anyway, for those coming in and are watching it back on the YouTube channel, today I'm going to talk about whether it was worth doing the UK Games Expo from the point of view of a small indie publisher. And I'm also going to be looking at things that I've bought. I've got a lot of them here. And I'm also going to just give a little bit of a summary about my thoughts with UK Games Expo. Hopefully, people find it interesting. If you're thinking about doing your own business stuff, then maybe you might find it interesting as well. We'll talk about some of the products that we sold and how they went down. We'll have a little look at the convention edition of IST as well. There's a game, there's some figures, there's some scenery. Yeah, we're just going to have a little debrief. Landed in Bucharest about 2 hours ago. Not long. Got to my hotel, off exploring in the morning. And yes, I'm heading to Transylvania on Sunday. Fantastic. Man, I'm jealous. Jeff, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Nick says, been crazy busy lately. Sorry I haven't been able to review the docs you sent over. Nick, it's fine, honestly. It's taking me a little bit longer to do the third run through of the level 1 stuff for testing. So I haven't sent it to all the testers yet. Jeff sent me some great stuff again. And I'm going to go through that tomorrow. And then that next week we're sending it out. I mean, the last couple of days it's been awesome because I've been writing lots on level 3. Been really enthused. Having come back from the expo, I should have been tired. Now, Nick suggests here appears to be points based on chat participation, I think. Oh. Mark says, and then I get #1. I can only assume it's based on who comments in order. So Nick says, top right of my chat shows 75 XP for instance right now. Oh. Well, it's a mystery. I am curious. So this looks like an update, doesn't it? They've done something. Maybe YouTube is actually doing something about its chat and the streaming side of things. Because blimey O'Reilly, there's a lot of people using YouTube to stream now rather than Twitch. Let me just get something. I've got a few props this evening I want to show you. Go over it. Mine says 50. Very strange. If you click on it, does it do something? If you click on that thing on the top right hand corner? This is curious. I haven't, I watch a few YouTube streams and maybe it's just happened today. It's very strange. So you can see the glossy, lovely program they produce for the UK Games Expo. It's flipping amazing. So there's an article that I read. Is one of the props booze? Oh man, I've drunk that already. No, thank you, David. I really appreciate that very kind present. And I have the book which I'm going to be showing as well. That is over there. Thank you, David. David was very nice. When he saw me, he gave me a birthday present. I was trying to keep it under wraps, that nobody knew it was my birthday. But someone always slips under the radar, and that was David. So thank you. I definitely appreciate that book. Very nice. Nick says, as viewers engage with a live stream, they'll notice the crown icon at the top of the chat, which displays the cumulative points they've earned for engaging with a specific live stream. Clicking. Oh, on this icon will take viewers directly to the leaderboard to see the top. Click on the icon. Top 50 engaged viewers. It definitely seems XP based. Fantastic. So you can all now fight over who's in the leaderboard. Fantastic. It definitely seems... apparently this was new as of June the 1st. Wow. Facebook told me it was your birthday too. Oh, yes. That's a side effect, isn't it, of all that stuff. Thank you for all the birthday wishes, by the way. And, it's quite nice for me to be at the UK Games Expo as a bit of a distraction, because I'm not really a big birthday person. I just prefer celebrating other people's birthdays, and I don't mind people talking about the stuff I do, but when it comes to talking about me, I feel a little bit embarrassed. I know it wouldn't seem that way, streaming every Friday, every week, promoting my games and, happily talking to people. But, that's my games. That's what I do. It's my art. So I don't have a problem with that. I want people to know about that. I find it a bit sweet. Mark says, I find it a bit sad. He says it with hashtag #1. Exactly. Lol, I saw the Facebook reminder, it's your birthday. My gift was not mentioning. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. You guys are cool. Okay. That's absolutely fine. So, UK Games Expo. I put in the title here. Was it worth it? So, as a bit of an overview, I've read an article or two about the expo since it's happened, and it's really interesting. There's a couple of things that I noticed while I was there. Definitely was busier than last year, and supposedly over 40,000 unique tickets, with over 70,000 visits over the period. So people are coming back for a couple of days. Sounds like most people came back for a second day, so that's really enthusiastic. Also, the floor area for exhibitors exceeded Gen Con this year, but didn't quite exceed Essen. Now, the difference being, Gen Con has all sorts of other suites and play areas, if you like. So as far as exhibitors go, this was absolutely massive. because it had changed, assuming that it's more people than years past. Yeah, don't Prestige P. How are you doing, my friend? I saw Prestige at the show. Good to see. Every time I go, I end up forgetting to buy something or regretting not bringing cash and bring and buy. Yeah. Well, I didn't actually go in the bring and buy this year. I usually go in to get some retro stuff because that is my fix usually. But at the moment, I'm playing a few games, so I kept an eye out for some current stuff, if you like, rather than buy the old stuff. Nick says, "Don't worry, Mark. I think it will be between you, Lars, and David, as I will be heading out to pick up my wife from work soon." Lol. You'll be back, assuming yes. So, huge numbers of people. I noticed while I was there, the lanes, the roads were wider. Fantastic. It was a fantastic idea. One of the things that's so horrible about the expo in the past is the roads, the lanes, what the stalls are on. They are rammed with people, and it just put people off. They would just try and push on through, so they weren't stopping and looking. Just a little bit, just a metre wider, and it was so much better. Really, really amazing. They had their core halls were 2 and 3, which was different from last year because 2 and 3 are on the same level, so they could have just one massive area and plan the routes much more logically than they did before, because they were in 1 and 2 before, and 1 is slightly lower down than 2, so you have to go downstairs to get to 1. Now you can look out across from 2 into 1, and it's amazing, but there's a bottleneck, and people tend to get stuck in either hall, so there's a much more of a flow going through. Bob, good to see you, Bob. Aisles, thank you. The aisles, the lanes, they're all named. So the one we won was One Page Rule Avenue, something like that. Thank you, Bob. I can rely on Bob to come in with the right word. That is for sure. So that was amazing. So better flow, more space, more people, larger floor space. It sounds like the perfect recipe for success, and it was amazing. So we took 30% more this year than last year, which for a small company is a massive thing. So on the face of it, you know, figures wise, that's so important. That is so important. I quite like the floor differentiation. If only so I could work out where I was exactly. Oh, and Prestige is now hashtag number 2. Jeff, you want to watch out for that. No, absolutely do not worry about this experience thing that it's showing on here. Mark, what I didn't like was the halls 2 and 3 and 3 all merged, and I was suddenly in a different hall. Hall 1 was ticketing. Yes, they had cocked up with the booking of the halls. So all in there 1 and 2, and then 3 for spillover stuff. But I preferred this layout. I preferred 2 and 3. It just felt more fluid. Now that could have caused problems for people. Admittedly, yes. And yeah. So Bob, I'll be sending you the new draft of Legendary Dungeon very soon, my friend. To get more points, I have to post short thoughts, 1 word at a time. What? What is that? David, I got lost so many times. Took me over an hour to find the DR stand. DR Games. I know. There was that. When you did come in, you did have a look of like, where am I? But it was a pleasure to meet you. It was nice to see you, Mark, as well. I wish more people could have made it. But, you know, especially some of you American guys. It would be fantastic to see Jeff and Nick roll into the stand. That would have been one hell of a surprise, but it would have been fantastic. Presley's, I prefer the size, but I did inadvertently drift into the other hall without realising. Indeed, there are big numbers on the wall, but I didn't mind that so much, to be honest. I didn't. Only if I was looking up a specific stall was it really much of a problem. One word at a time. Doing well, other than too many unplayed games, Bob says. Yeah, tell me. I know how you feel. David, I actually found Toby by accident, as I thought I was still in Hall 2. I would love to go next year. 30% increase sounds fantastic. It was, Jeff, it was. Looking forward to it. Fantastic, Bob. I'm enthused to have your feedback on it, because you have a very analytical mind. So that is going to be very useful with the awesome feedback testers and proofreaders we have. Jeff and Mark and Nick being some of them. So I was looking down at the stands, not the big numbers high up, about 40 feet up. What, the big numbers that were like 40 feet tall? Yeah, no, you're right. It definitely was. You have to kind of look up and see which ones. But I didn't have a problem with that. I was just, when I went out, which wasn't that often, because I've definitely missed a few stands that I wanted to see. I kind of looked up and could see where I was, but it didn't matter so much. I was just wandering, trying to hit the corners, trying to hit the corners so I could see things. It was crazy. David, you should just take that as the best compliment ever. It's a nice thing. I often say just what I'm thinking, usually. So, yeah. So as an event, it was so worth it. Not just, it's easy just to quote the money and the increased sales, but it was more meeting people. It was networking. I got to meet some people down the aisle. I saw Jordan at Jordan Sorcery. We had a good chat. We're going to do a collaboration in a few months. I saw, who else did I see? I just generally got to see a lot of people, a lot of public, and just chat to people, just talk about the game, and just, as I've said this a million times, to be out of the bubble in my office and just kind of enjoy seeing people. So was it worth it? God damn, it was worth it. And I said to people as they come in, these things are so important for the small publishers to be front facing, just got to kind of just have people see who and what you're doing, and it reaffirms what you're doing. You kind of like, there's a damn good reason why I do this, other than all you awesome people who support me like normal. You are amazing. So yes, absolutely worth it. Do it. Get in there. Get yourself, book a spot. We'll be booking our spot ASAP. The nice thing as well is they have a loyalty factor built into their booking system. So if you've been there like years before, they will make sure that you're not stuck to one side. That isn't always a bad thing, by the way. But if you're new, you can't necessarily expect to be right in the fray so much. Although the first time we went, we were in pretty good position. So we will be looking for. We will be looking buying the same stand. We upped by a metre, so we were 4 by 3 metres, and it meant we could have a table in the middle with Dungeon on, as you've seen in the pictures. If you go to the Facebook page, I put some pictures up there, and we could get people around it more. So Greg was there, my brother. He was selling. He was there the 4 days. Joe was there 3 days. Brilliant sales team. We've had some lovely comments on the Facebook as well from people who met them. And Kai came Kai, my daughter, she came the second on the Saturday, the third day, and she did a wonder as well. She was selling beautifully. Bob says, sounds like the same reason I go to technical conferences. Yeah, I mean, it was great networking, really good. It's so good. I just cannot recommend it enough. The people next to us, they just had the paleontology scientists, D&D people. They just had a little stand, just as wide as a normal table, with a booth, and they were selling stuff. They were selling tons of books. People were coming and seeing their product. If you got a good product, people will come and look at it. And they struck a deal with some publisher where they're going to be printing out 200 of their books. And it was just, every time I went places, people were talking about how much they were selling. And that we'll get into that a little bit. Mark says he made a list of primary targets. Saw a few minis, Prestige P says. Wanted to make a mental note, then promptly forgot by the time I got to the other end. Yes, Prestige says next time he needs to make notes. So, yeah, I think Mark's right. There's a primary target. I had a few targets I wanted to get, and I'll talk about those in a minute. Vincent, good to see you there. Jeff says, did you have anyone doing a gameplay demo? This is a really good question. This time we didn't, and it's a good thing we didn't, because I think what that does is it detracts from the space in the stall. So you have a gameplay and someone is focused for like 10 minutes on gameplay, when really they're not necessarily going to buy it. You're using up kind of footage, and we found in the first year some people enjoyed it, but we also got to the point where we would be with someone for 20 minutes and didn't make the sale. They saw the game, they may have bought it after, who knows, but it really didn't work in that smaller space, unfortunately. Ideally you think it would be a good move, but we just felt that it didn't benefit us, so we didn't do a gameplay. We just had all the product laid out and were selling, which was glorious. For some, Nick says, for some reason notes on the map make me think of writing a wild Toby Appears role initiative. Yeah, you bet. Your daughter took my cash just about as fast as your Kickstarter. Good girl. Mark, Bob says, having run conferences in the past, exhibit hall booth costs are a necessary way to lower attendees' costs. Well, that's an interesting one. Did I miss something Mark put? No, that's a very good point, actually, Bob. That's the wider picture. That definitely is. Maybe a rolling video showing the maps evolving if you could get a screen up. I could see that a bigger space would make a big difference for that. Yeah, it would. Table for one. Glad to hear it was a success. It really was. It was. I have a couple of people in Hall 4. So, although Hall 1, they hadn't booked. In the end, BBC had booked it, and they pulled out. It meant the bring and buy could be down in Hall 1. So people could go and do that. That gave more space to stands within 2 and 3, which expanded into 4, which was on the same level and kind of went round a corner. Now, I did hear some people in 4 at the back didn't do as well as they'd hoped, which was a shame. But I feel like now they've got a bit of a footing. They might get a better space next time. 4 may even be filled next time, which would be mind-blowing. I mean, it is huge. I mean, really, really impressive. What is the bring and buy? So, good question. So there's like a relatively large booth where you can queue up to, and you can bring your board games, and you go in and they price it up for you, take your details, and you go away. And then people come and buy these second-hand products in that booth with cash, and then they figure it all out. I don't quite exactly know how they do it, but So you're buying second-hand goods from people who have brought them in. And I guess the centre takes a percentage, and they do it that way. It's a really good... I do enjoy doing it, but it's a bit dangerous because you go in and you buy a load of stuff which you hadn't actually thought about buying, necessarily. And then you come out and it sits in your cupboard, like it has all year for me. The stuff that I bought last year from the second-hand stall. It's like a second-hand, basically. So that's basically what it is. Graham, is Games Expo always at the NEC? Yes. Hall 4 was mixed with playables, so not so many people necessarily went there. Right, that was probably it. I didn't really get a chance to have a look around Hall 4, unfortunately. Look at this amazing... This is such a lovely brochure they've got here for the little bit of history, game crawling possibilities, game testing. So one of the things they have at the expo is they have testing. So people bring their games along and they can hire a table, people can sit down with them and test the game, which is fantastic, don't you think? Graham, yes, but used to be in the Masonic Hall in Edgbaston. Was the faction size then? Yeah, early on, but just recently. I mean, the NEC's perfect because it's right in the middle of the country, and you're not paying any sort of charges to get there like you would do if you're going to London. Getting parking in London, getting all the stuff down to London is much harder, in my opinion. And just parking, although the NEC is massive and the parking is kind of crazy, it's still regimented, it's still ordered, they still have the space. So it is a really great place to go. And plus, it's just an hour and a quarter from where we live, which is really useful. So, yeah. So we had a number of products that we sold this year. We sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 35 different types of product we sold. Our top seller was 2D6 Dungeon Paperback. Graham, I'm local, so easy for me. Was bought up 30 minutes, walked down. Yes, Prestige P was telling me about that actually when I was chatting to him. So, and the Dungeon Spiral Bound was our second. Then David says the NC is attached to Birmingham's International Airport. Yes, you were saying about that, weren't you? For all out international gamers thinking about coming next year. Graham says I'm from Brum as well. Yeah, that for Americans, Brum is Birmingham. Birmingham, as they say in Birmingham. And then our third best-selling product was IST. So we had a special conference edition of IST called the Convention Edition. Some of you know this because you've read it, but this was our third best product. I think we sold a fair few, not all of. David got number 14. So we're going to sell the remaining amount on the website. And so they will be on our shop very soon. And I will put a little notice up as well. These are kind of limited edition. They've got some additional exhibition-based content. So Space Exhibition Centre you can find in the systems to the planets that you visit, and then there is also a Games Master goals, badges you can collect, awards, and those are found in the entertainment district. When you locate them or you visit them, you can tick those off, and ultimately you become a Games Master, and you're awarded 1,000 credits to spend on your spaceship. So achievements. Thank you, Jeff. I am still a bit tired from the expo, as those who went for 4 days will know. So yes, the mouth doesn't work, but the brain writing definitely has been working the last few days. I've been writing a lot, which is great. And that is there. You've got just a bit extra. It's a limited 100 printed. I think there's going to be about 50 left to sell on the website. So that is the physical ones. Better get your hands on those. Yeah, so overall, I would say, very, very much worth it. I would highly recommend it for anybody who's looking to get into it. You will probably need a barrow of some sort to transport boxes. You will have to be ready for a full-on session, but even just getting like a 2x2, getting a presence, talking to people, it's bloody amazing. I wish we had more. I mean, I was talking about it to many of the people there that we need more conventions like the UKGE. It just is that straightforward. There's Aircon in March up in Harrogate, which I'm going to be going to this next March, and then there's Tabletop Scotland in September, the first week of September. But again, logistically, Scotland is quite tricky. So we're obviously looking at our overheads, and it's not as big as UK Games Expo, so we won't make as much probably, and the hotels that we need to stay in up there will probably eat away. And so is it, how does that work? How did Radzone do at Expo? Good question, Jeff. Not very well. We sold Radzone, just to give you an idea, we sold 8 Radzone paperback editions, and then a couple of the expansions. Not a huge amount, unfortunately. It's got a very specific market, that one. So yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I love Radzone. I mean, it's got a place close to my heart, that game. But no, people are definitely drawn. We did a couple of weeks back. We did a discussion, didn't we, about the types of genres that people like, and post-apocalyptic genres, survival game type setups in those scenarios, and solo player games. Although that is a 1 to 2 player game, really. A smaller niche as well, smaller group of people. So you're narrowing down the bracket, and it seems like it is a game that people need to hear about and hear people talk about before they buy it. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's just how it is. If I was a big company with a big marketing budget, maybe it would do better. But we're not. We're just me and Joe part time. So it's very much we don't have a marketing department. The marketing we do is me here on a stream with some Facebook stuff, which thank heavens for Facebook. Blimey, our little community there has been one of the key reasons why I've been able to create these games. It's such an important place for me. I check it every day, all the time. So that's our reach. That's where we're at. A bit on Board Game Geek. I've got a Twitter account, which nobody really looks at Twitter anymore. So that's basically what I'm doing. So, and of course Kickstarter. Where would you be without Kickstarter? That's the backbone to the company. And I'm able to reach you guys, thank heavens. But if we had a budget to say, I don't know, market Radzone towards a group of people that were interested in that type of stuff. Maybe if there was a show and people who like that show saw Radzone, maybe that might make it work. But again, it's strategy, isn't it? It's about having to think about your products and who they appeal to and and that takes time. You then got to maybe, I don't know, you then got to reach out to people, start conversations, and it is tricky. But a lot of people are here because of Dungeon, which is fantastic, and I love Dungeon. I'm really enjoying writing Legendary Dungeon at the moment, so I cannot wait for people to share that and start drawing their own maps in the Legendary Dungeon. I'm in a really good place. Expo was amazing. The writing is going so well at the moment, and I'm even chipping away a bit at the Western game and the new expansion for IST, which was on the back burner. I'm starting picking that up as well for like maybe half an hour here, maybe putting a few hours in a week, and we're going to get together. Jeff's really helping me with this one as well. I'll be sending you an email, Jeff, soon about this. We want to get the next IST out. IST is actually the most downloaded game on itch.io that we did, so it's obviously much cheaper as a digital format than, say, Dungeon, so it's going to be downloaded more or looked at more, but it is a popular game, so we're going to be looking at developing more with that as we move forward. Anyway, blimey, I can go on, can't I? Okay, so yes, if you're a small company, if you're a designer and you're thinking, should I do UK Games Expo? Damn right you should. It is so worth it. Okay, I think that's like a full stop. That's what I call them. Okay, we're gonna have a look at. I don't have a lot of space in my room. The IST Omnibus. Well, we've had the IST Omnibus out for a while. So IST first appeared, Intergalactic Space Trader, as a series of books. So you could buy just the rules and then the expansion ships. We put it together as an omnibus. It's a nice thick pocket size. Incidentally, the Western game is going to be this size as well when we release it. So we're going to be releasing a Western A6 pocket size, and then there's also going to be a pirate version game coming. They are coming. I keep saying this, but they definitely are. I mean, there's a certain clarity when you're at the expo and you're watching people and you're listening to people, talking to people about you've got all your games laid out. People look at them and they're drawn to this little book. I know it's partly because it's cheaper and it's neat and concise rather than a big kind of thick book to read rules. This is a bit more kind of appealing. But it kind of gives you a little bit more clarity about how you necessarily will move forward with new projects. So we're going to have another one of these. It's going to be similar thickness, and yeah, it's going to be. We're going to have like that. There'll be like a pocket-sized edition games, just like that. Black and white as well. I quite like this setup. I think everything works fine with that. So that's the omnibus. So all the little books have been put into one, and you've got that. So the new IST book is going to be the Intergalactic Space Traders Galaxy Guide. So it's going to be a whole bunch of generated planets with information, some little quirky stuff, a universe, a solar system, not a solar system, a galaxy that you can explore. All the planets will be generated for you already. You won't have to do any generation. All the values will be there already. So you better figure out plans and routes and which way to go, and you won't have to do any of that generation. You could just play the game and be the ship and fly from planet to planet. That is where we're going with that. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before. Okay. So I hope that kind of comes across, obviously in a positive light. I know it does positively, but that in a learned way as well. I've learned a lot, taken a lot from the UK Games Expo experience. The experience of that, and hearing people talk about the products and asking the types of questions and what people were drawn to on the stand. It is really interesting. So again, another reason why you kind of benefit from showing your wares, showing your art. Whether it's an art exhibition or a stand at the UK Games Expo, there's a viewer, there's someone engaging in what you do. Even for IST, I print out sheets on letter size. I suppose that's like doing a large print option for those of us who have aging eyes. Yes, there is that. So the theory is, if you buy the physical product, you get the PDF. Now, I forgot to say it to everybody who bought products at the Games Expo, but though, if you're watching this back and you did buy a physical product, contact me and we'll give you the PDFs. But, yeah, so you got the PDF, you can print it out any size you like, in theory. Fantastic. So, let's have a look at some of the stuff that I bought. This background is quite distracting, isn't it? So maybe I should put like a green or something down. Hang on. It's a bit of paint. This might be a bit better. This might be better for looking at stuff. I've got some things stuck on here. It's a little bit, I'm doing some work on here. Other than dodging people with backpacks, the lack of PDFs of spatial awareness and a lack of spatial awareness, I enjoyed the expo. Fantastic. There was one point I came across you, Mark, wasn't there, in the crowd, and you kind of were just standing there. You were kind of almost in a daze. I kind of had to sort of wake you up, shake you by the shoulders. Mark, are you there? And I saw a lot of people like that, I'll be honest. It's just so much glorious stuff. So many wonderful creations. So, let's have a look at some of the stuff that I bought. And I want to talk about some people. So, first up, some basic stuff. Okay, so this is Colourforge. This is the primer that I use for my models, and so I picked up some of that this year. That was always on my list to get some primer, model primer. Okay, so that is like the first item I want to show you. Recommend this company, the brilliant paints. This lasts me a whole year. I think it was something like £12. Whole year. I've still got a little bit left in the other one. But I get one of those each year. That's like an important thing that I do. Now, another thing that I quite enjoyed doing, that was just before I left. I was trying to relocate a stand I wanted to go before I went home, and I thought I was nearby. Yeah, that's how I feel. The first time I went out, I was out for half an hour, and I was like, where the hell am I? But for me, I think that's part of it. You do need a day to wander around and orientate yourself and find some places, and you stumble across stuff. Blimey. That's one of the things, right? So I quite like to stumble. I quite like looking at stands where... see, one of my goals this year was to buy some scenery. So you're going to see some of that today. Okay. So one of my goals is I look at some of these retailers and I'm trying to find bargains when it comes to scenery. And I thought these were pretty good. I don't know what people think. £4 for this. I'm going to open it up here. Okay, it's a ruin. You can see it's like it's an archway. Can you see that? There. Isn't that just a lovely little bit of scenery? There. See, that has been moulded, poured into a mould. There's a bubble there. And there it is. So I've got another one of those as well. Same company. This was just in a box. Yeah. This one was £6. This was just £4. I thought, wow. Nice bit of scenery for £4. This is made by Javis. Javis.co.uk. For all your modelling needs, models of scenic terrains, buildings, etc. Yeah, I got myself all turned around on scenery. Couldn't pull the trigger as I kept waiting for the next stand. Yeah. Well, I saw these and I just thought, right, I'm going to go for it. And I did. And this one here is a bridge. Now, looking at the edges there, I'm not as pleased with that one. But you look at that and you think that would be coming off a bit, and it does a little touch, but it's not too bad. It's got like a... This is potentially more modern. It's not stuck together very evenly, and that's the issue here. Might sand some of that off potentially. But you got a bridge, and you got a bit of ruin. Pretty cool. They could fit into many different setups. Bad Squiddo had some good stuff. Yes, we'll go into that. Prestige P. So put those to one side for the moment. Talking about, we'll come to them. I've got a certain order here. What did I do with that one? Oh, here it is. So I was looking for something that could be used in a pirate skirmish game, Port Royal, which some of you know I play. And I found this classic kind of medieval cage type thing here, and I thought this could be used in lots of different games, but I thought, why not? That could go into like a pirate setup there for sure. So this one came from Modular Worlds, and they do lots. There were lots of 3D printed stuff there, which, you know, it makes perfect sense. People buying it and selling it. People don't want to have to print it out, do they? So there you go. That is that. Can you see that? Yeah, look at that there. Gibbet. Yes. Thank you. They call it the hanging cage. That was what they gave the name. So that's one little thing, just a little thing there. A bit of scenery. Modular Worlds, which is fantastic. So then the next one, we went the thing that most impressed. So the year before, we were next to a stand that was selling wooden tokens. So they were laser cut, laser printed. Remember, like a year or two ago, that's why you're number one, Mark. So we were next to this stand. Really nice couple. They printed. They cut all their stuff in their own house, and they had the house stank of all this laser cut MDF type wood stuff that you get. And they were back this year. They were actually down our street, which is awesome. So they were just like a few stores, and I could see them from my stand. And I went over to have a chat with the guy. And the company's called Dungeon Tokens. And so they sell dungeon tokens, but they have expanded into scenery. So the guys bought a load of laser printers, thought, okay, wooden tokens, maybe not the thing anymore. Now I'm going to do 3D printed scenery. And I think a lot of people have done this. They've expanded their business, bought some printers, and they're printing this stuff out. Now, I didn't ask the guy where you get your models from or anything like that. It was all there. I don't have a problem with how it's done or what happens. But the products were amazing. So they probably buy the products, the model, and then they print them out themselves. So the thing, I bought this here. Right, I don't know whether you can see this. It's a little bit difficult to see. Right. You can't really see it here, but this is a rocky outcrop with a wooden platform here. So this kind of looks like it might be on a shore somewhere, and these ones were painted. The guy was telling me that his mum paints these. She's quite arty. And so he's got his mum to paint these up, and actually was really impressed with this. And I don't know what, I'm not up to date on what this printing material is, but it's very light. And then there were some ruins that I bought as well, and they are looking like this. I thought they were so kind of universal. I could use these in virtually any setting. Could be post-apocalyptic, it could be sci-fi, but it definitely could be pirates, a ruin on a hill above the shore, resin, yep. And there's a lot of sections to this particular ruin. Now obviously it wouldn't be like that in real life, but yeah, I'm going to spray paint these black with my new primer paint, and I'm going to do some dry brushing on these, maybe with a little bit of sponge work. And yeah, really pleased with how these look. So this is going to feature in my Port Royal campaign, along with that rocky outcrop, which is going to potentially be by the sea, which is fantastic. So that's kind of like the scenery that I bought. So I also went to Bad Squid Games. Now I was looking for pirates, and these are the ones that I found, freebooters. But the fantastic thing about these was that the stands weren't with them. Okay, fantastic thing about these. Let's see if I've got a bit of paper here. Is that they are female pirates. See if we get some focus there. All right. And obviously I'm playing this game with my daughter. All the pirates that were included with the Port Royal were male pirates. So we've got some female pirates for my daughter to use if she wants to. And if not, they're just fantastic anyway. So we've got a whole bunch here. Hopefully they're focusing. And you can see, look, she's got Hook as a hand. And there, she's got a patch over her eye. This is the freebooters. Now, apparently they have some more. I'm going to go online. Arg. Why the hell not? They probably do. There you go. So they're good. So that is Bad Squiddo Games. Very much like probably the same, could be the same sculptor who works for, what's the other one called? Crooked Dice. So very similar style, similar packaging. These are white, I think they're white metal, yes. They are metal. So really nice. Really pleased with those. That is fantastic. Now, I also picked up something which I am excited about. Necromunda. So I picked up 2 squads gangs for Necromunda. I don't know how to play this game. I didn't play it originally, but I like the way it looks. I like the thought of playing it, and so I'm kind of building up a little bit of War Disgaea. How are you doing, my friend? Yes, these are pretty damn cool. Let's crack open. So I've got like the rule book, and it's obviously a bit more involved than something like Port Royal, which is written in the modern era. I know there's a relatively new version of Necromunda out there, but I think there is anyway. But these figures here look really cool, and this is the Della Q gang, and you get, yes, there's a lot of sticking, unfortunately. And you can see there, blimey. No, I've never played Pirate Borg, actually, Jeff. I haven't really had been able to play many RPGs recently, actually. I've been able in the past done a little bit with my teenagers, but not so much lately. Hopefully it will change. I've got my sister-in-law's kids are interested. They're young adults as well, are interested in doing some role play. So we'll see. We'll see. I have seen Pirate Book. I haven't bought it. I bought Cyborg, the official science fiction expansion for Morkborg, and I obviously know Morkborg pretty well, having done some writing for it. Not the official product, but supplements. So there you go. I've got some figures, which is pretty damn cool. And I also I bought Heat, which we played last night, and it was fantastic. That was with my sister-in-law, our Thursday night gaming session, and we played last night. It was really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. They loved it. They're not into sort of complex Euro games, but they like a good themed game, and it went down really well. My wife enjoyed it as well. Joe enjoyed it. I hear that. I've got some RPGs to play, but I haven't had a chance. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking into how that might change around. There may be a chance to maybe form an RPG group at some point. Now, I also saw this. Now, I'd seen this Jaipur. I don't quite know how it's said, but it looks exotic, different. I've seen it. I've seen it before, and I was kind of like, right, I'm going to pick up this time. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to pick up 2-player games for myself and my wife to play. We're probably going to play this on Sunday. There's a whole bunch that we've been playing and enjoying, and yeah, this one's a trading game. You got some tokens. It's the first time I've had a look inside here. Nice, and some cards, and not a lot else. Let's just break these cards open, shall we? Gonna have to see what this is like. Put that down there. So that is on the cards as well. Excited about playing that. Oh, some other guy popped round and was kind enough to give me this as well. Out of the Pit. This awesome book, which is a bestiary of all the, well, I think it's most of the beasts in the fighting fantasy books, with art taken directly from the books. Look at that. This is amazing. One of the best things I got over the weekend, so thank you, David. Beautiful book. Prestige P says, I got Fist, the old Steve Jackson phone-based fighting fantasy, now as an app. Glad I waited rather than bankrupting my parents. I definitely phoned the Fist channel, so yeah, I definitely spent some money on that, but I was probably too scared of my dad to do that too much, to be honest. So yeah, not something I broke the bank with, but I definitely dabbled with it back in the day. No problem, Captain. Yeah, thank you, David. That's very cool. Very cool. I'm going to be having a closer look at that. So that looks like that is largely the haul. And you know, I spent must have been about £60 on the scenery, but I think that was money well spent. We're going to get some good games out of those, and I feel like those pieces that I got were very kind of universal, so they can be applied to lots of different games. Fingers crossed. So that is awesome. Oh, another little bit of breaking news is we got the new 2D6 mechanical pencils in. So this is the These are the pencils that are included in the travel pack, travel folder. You can see the 2D6 Dungeon logo on the barrel, and if you go close, these are mechanical pencils. You can see the lead there, and very pleased with those. We've also got the folders back, and they look amazing. I think what I'll probably do on one stream is go over the folder with all the bits and pieces, because obviously with things like this, you've got to spread the costs a bit, so we're buying bits and pieces as we move through these next few months. The writing's going so well, so we're going to hopefully have that done soon, and then we'll have it double proofread, and proofread again, with some testing as well. Thankfully, a lot of the rules are in place. The balance is what we're just looking to achieve now, but that's always the way with these things. These pens we've got extra. They will be available on the shop as well, but I'll also be sending out a few to some very helpful individuals who are kind enough to proofread and edit. So those will be bringing their way to all those that deserve them. And yeah, we've also got the dot grids as well, so we'll be able to load those up. And yeah, so things are moving along nicely with the 2D6 Legendary campaign, and the products are in. We've got like boxes, we've got like 9 big boxes full of folders in there. So yeah, all that is in place, which is great. So yeah, we are in a really good position at the moment. Yeah, so are there any questions about the expo or products or games that are coming up that we can deal with in this particular moment of time? Otherwise, we will end it there. It's a bit shorter than normal, but again, it's been a long week, kind of, and the recovery is largely there. But yeah, I certainly didn't have the energy to do a playthrough this evening, unfortunately. But again, I like to do a bit of a debrief of the expo. A very quick, yeah, it has been a very quick week. It's flown by, isn't it? Yeah, with the week ahead. As I say, we're going to get the proper testers edition of Legendary Level 1 ready. I've had a bit more feedback. I just want to go over that and get that sorted. The last couple of days, I've just been head down, ploughing through the rooms and text for Level 3, and then we'll be on to Level 4 by the end of the week, if not in the next couple of days. And then just Level 4 and 5 to be done. Every week is a quick week. Yeah, I think you're right. When will the IST convention edition be on the website? Graham, great question. So, because we've been a little bit behind this week, it was meant to go on when we got back from the convention, but it's just been absolutely crazy. So it will be on. Either Joe's got to go up with our youngest to London tomorrow because she's looking at one of the universities there to study film. So she's out for a lot of the day, but it could be on tomorrow afternoon or Sunday. So in the next couple of days. So yeah, looking. Yeah, it will be there for you, and yes, yeah, we've got that. Has been an absolute pleasure to get out there, the IST. Oh man, I am tired. So unless there's anything else that people want to ask about, I'm sorry, it's a bit of a shorter stream this week, but yeah, I am whacked, and hopefully I can sleep. One of the things that we're facing at the moment is that we've got to get up slightly earlier because my eldest has started a new job and she needs a lift to the station earlier. So getting up just slightly earlier, it's just temporary. Thank you, Bob. I'll be sending you that stuff, my friend. And that has had a bit of an effect on us. But it's not just that. They're moving around in the house earlier, so I tend to wake up a bit easily. So the whole patterns are a little bit off at the moment. Thank you, Vincent. No problem, Jeff. Yep, guys, I will speak soon, and I will be making more sense next week as well. Hopefully I made some sense. But look, if you are thinking about doing an expo or visiting, you've got to do it. It is such an amazing place. And yeah, just get in there and do it. Okay, guys, I will see you very soon. Have a great weekend. And yeah, just have a good weekend. Be nice to people, and maybe get out into nature. That's always a good one. Nature is a healer. And I will catch up with you very soon.